After a thrilling 3-3 draw last time out away at Port Vale, Charlton return here to the Valley, searching for a much-needed win. It's been a busy week away from the field of play, plenty of new faces in the building, and hopefully they will provide a much-needed boost for our squad. It doesn't get much more difficult though than Peterborough United, who are today's opponents. Darren Ferguson's side sit third in League One and haven't lost in the league since early November. With less than 45 minutes until kick-off, let's see what's coming up on Charlton TV. We will hear from Michael Appleton, who spoke to Charlton TV ahead of today's game. We've got Charlton women's star Carla Humphrey joining us in the studio as a special guest. And we will hear from one of Charlton's new signings, Conor, Coventry. Well, it is a very warm welcome to South East London from wherever you are in the world. It's a pleasure to have your company, and a quick reminder that if you do want to join us for the 90 minutes against Peterborough United, you can still purchase your matchday streaming pass for £10 by visiting the club website. Now, I said that we are delighted to be joined by a special guest in the studio. This guest scored this wonderful free kick.
Strikes in, Son strikes it to perfection. Charlton off the mark. The first goal for Charlton.
Carla, welcome to Charlton TV. I mean, that was quite a special free kick. Quite a nice introduction, I hope you felt.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We were talking off air and you said that you get to come to Charlton games a lot, the home games when you're around, but you also follow Charlton TV as well. So talk to us a little bit about how you found your time at the club so far.
Yeah, I think when I join a new team, I like to get fully immersed in it. I like to support the men's team as well, come watch the games, and I've really enjoyed it so far. Straight from the off, the girls are so welcoming in the team, like really made me feel at home so quickly. Enjoyed, obviously, on the pitch, we've been getting some good results, climbing up the league, obviously sitting second in the league at Christmas and currently level on points. So yeah, I think we've had a really good first half of the season.
You absolutely have, and we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show, and hopefully we'll make you feel welcome here in the Charlton TV studio as well. And alongside Carla, I'm delighted to say Alan Curbishley is here as well. Curbs, how are you doing?
I'm good. I mean, it's a great free kick considering you're left-footed. No, I'm all right, actually.
I wish I could do that with my left foot.
And Curbs, it's been a busy week for the football club. Some new faces through the door, as I mentioned at the start. A kind of a lifted atmosphere as well already up in field.
Well, competition, obviously. I mean, obviously Michael couldn't have been too happy with his midfield at the moment because he's gone and done some business there. Other positions as well, and apparently they're still looking to do some more business. I think we must have done more business than any other team in the whole 4 leagues. Must have. And
it's impressive as well, Curbs, because in the weeks building up to the January window opening, we've been speaking about how difficult a market it is, the January transfer market, and it seems like the club have obviously dipped into the loan market but got some really impressive permanent signings through the door as well, which is testament to lots of hours on the phone.
Yeah, well, I think the feeling coming from the board ever since they've been here is this is a long-term situation. We're not going to say that we're going to be in the Premier League in 5 or 6 years, etc. It's a long-term plan, and I think what Andy Scott said last week and Michael talking about, we want to get ourselves in a position that if it's not going to be this year, then next summer we're strong and we've got people in place that we want. So we're not only just looking at now, I think they're looking for the summer and the future, and the signings that they've made, I think it surprised quite a lot of people actually, and apparently there's more to come.
Fingers firmly crossed, hey? I can reveal a little bit of transfer news though. If anyone watched the Q&A online meeting we hosted on Wednesday, the chairman promised me a new heater for the Charlton TV studio. I can't unveil it because it's over there on my right-hand side, but we're a little bit toastier than we have been in recently.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, literally come out fresh out of its packaging. I'm sure Brownie will be delighted with that when he joins us a little bit later on. But Carla, I wanted to ask you a little bit, because I'm sure supporters will be fascinated to learn what it's like at the training ground, because I take great pride from the fact that Charlton has not only, fantastic facilities for the men's team, but the women's as well. How is it like to sort of train all in together, all in that kind of one club mentality?
Yeah, I think it's really nice. It's nice to feel like that inclusivity with the men's team. I haven't had that at any other club I've been at, where, We have lunch at the same time, like in and out. I will make a coffee at the coffee machine and chat to some of them. You know, they know our fixtures, our results, and it's just really nice. Like, people actually really taking an interest from the men's side. And I think that goes both ways. You know, a lot of the girls come to the games as well, so it's really nice. And
Carla, please tell me you've been giving them some advice on how to keep clean sheets by the coffee.
No, how to defend in the last 5 minutes.
How to put away free kicks like that as well. We wouldn't mind that.
I don't think they talk to me anymore after that.
No, but it's really nice. It's really refreshing, because I think
Definitely,
Curbs, like for any club to be successful nowadays, that foundation has to be there, and quite a lot of the meeting that we had on Wednesday was obviously consumed with the men's first team, as you would expect, but Karen's built a really good squad and added some players which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. It's got to be that kind of all-inclusive, front-footed approach.
I think we've got to give Thomas Sangard a bit of credit, because he did embrace the women's team and put a lot of money into it, and there was a bit of criticism actually from the fans saying, you know, the money should have gone into the men's team, try and win promotion, but he stuck to his guns and upgraded and put money there. So, and Karen came in, and since then it's been quite successful. So yeah, I think that the way football is at the moment, it's not just Charlton Athletic men's team, it's the whole thing, women's team included, with the academies as well. And yeah, what I can't see. What I would like to see is more games here.
Yeah.
Because I think that, especially the Premier League clubs, their pitches can handle it, but I think this pitch can. I think it's probably a cost thing, opening up the stadium, and there's not going to be a lot of fans here. But you're seeing some of these gates in the top division, you know, so it will start filtering down. And yeah, I think it's about time we had some more games on the Valley.
Yeah, and the women's team have got a great record here at the Valley as well, so certainly would encourage Charlton supporters to come along once the season kick-starts again, because there's been a little bit of a winter break going on, and help push us into the Women's Super League. That's the goal, right? That's
the goal, yeah. That's what we've been talking about. That's what we're aiming for. And it would be really nice to see, you know, more and more supporters get behind the team. And yeah, I understand why clubs are reluctant to put money into it and open the stadiums up, but yeah, like Curb said...
It's not the pitch now. They can't complain about the pitches, because the pitches can handle it. The Premier League pitches can handle game every week. It's not a problem.
Well, look, let's turn our focus on to today's game. The visit of Peterborough in fantastic form. They're the highest scorers in the division, Curbs.
Have they got their centre forward playing today?
Yeah, that's the name that we're looking at for the breaking news, of course. But a big test for this squad, who will be buoyed by the new arrivals. How do you foresee the 90 minutes unfolding?
I think we've had a couple of these games recently where we've said, is this a bit of a marker? And I don't think I'm being defeatist in saying if we don't get the result today, then that playoffs is a long way off. And we're playing against a team that, if not automatic promotion, then playoffs is their aim. So yeah, it's another bit of a marker. And you know, new players have come in, but obviously they're not all playing. Does that give the people that are starting a little bit of, oh, you know, we've got to do well to stay in here? Or do the players think, well, we're out next week because you brought... So it'd be interesting to see how Michael would have gone about that. You know, you bring 3 or 4 players in and they're not playing, you know, then you're saying to the team, no, go out and give me your best. You know, they're all professionals, they should be going out giving their best. But you know, there's that added little bit of pressure now, and I just think that Michael has assessed the squad and he's obviously not happy, and the amount of players he's bringing in sums it up, and it's great that the board have backed him. And as we said, there's rumours that it ain't finished yet. But obviously if we don't get the result today, then we are looking at next season, I think.
Peterborough 2 points off of the top 2, and they are in fine form. Perhaps an example again of a club in League One that's really built over time and now is of course pushing at the higher end of the table. I think it's safe to say that the manager fully expects a tough test this afternoon. I spoke to him earlier on to find out who will be starting against our visitors today. Michael, no game midweek, but it's been a busy week. How pleased are you firstly with the signing of Conor Coventry?
Yeah, obviously delighted. He's going to be a big player for this football club. He's clearly someone that I've known from previous, stayed in touch for a long time. Very late night Tuesday, trying to convince him with Andy and myself to get to the club. So that was well worthwhile, I think, over the last 48 hours.
All of those hours that go on to securing players, and the players of the quality of Macaulay, Gillesphey, who was also confirmed yesterday, a real boost to the squad as well.
Absolutely, and I think it was one of them where there was certain areas of the group that we felt that we needed to strengthen, but probably more so the type of sort of characters coming into the club. You know, Macaulay's very experienced. He's on the back of obviously a promotion with Plymouth last year out of this league, so he understands the league. And obviously Conor, now he had 4 loans obviously before coming towards, and I think he's at the right age and right time now to sort of go and make a career for himself.
Last week, Tyler Backinson and Lewis Fiorini joined the Addicts. How have they been settling in to training?
Yeah, really well. And I suppose, obviously, with no game midweek, it was a great opportunity to sort of, you know, inject them into the group and get them a little bit more of an understanding of what we want and how we do it. And, you know, they seem to sort of settle really well, and the players have took to them.
I can imagine the new faces coming into the building gives the current squad a real boost as well.
Yeah, well, it gives me a boost as well. It gives everyone a boost. I think, obviously, there was a definitely different feel to the training ground this week. To be fair, the players have been really good at that, and I think we've been quite resilient and stay sort of strong as a unit and together as a unit. But obviously, you know, when you have 2 or 3 new faces walk through the door, you know, it's only going to sort of improve the spirits and, if anything as well, the intensity around the group and what we do in training.
With all these new signings coming in the door, what and how are we going to line up today?
Well, of the 3, because obviously Macaulay was very, very late. But for the 3, Tyreek will be starting the game. Conor and Lewis will be on the bench. Conor was done probably a little bit too late. We've been working for 2.5 days on a formation and a way that hopefully we can beat Peterborough. But the reality is, I've been saying it for weeks now, all of a sudden we've got opportunities, whether that's being stronger on the pitch in the starting 11, but not just that. Obviously, I've got now an opportunity to make things happen from the bench. A little bit like I did when I first walked in. There was lots of options on the bench to change things, and hopefully that'll be the case in the next few weeks.
Are you making any changes elsewhere, or is it literally just that one?
Just that one. The slight change to how we set up, and you'll probably see that when we're out there. I think the lads are quite excited about it. You know, seemed to go quite well this week. They enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll get the benefit from it.
What kind of test are you expecting Peterborough to pose?
One of the toughest. You know, I think I said a couple of months back about Bolton being a team that I sort of respected and seen where they've developed over the years, and Peterborough exactly the same. You know, I think the 2nd and 3rd are they at this moment in time in the league. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up, you know, right there in the top 2. The front 3, very dangerous, very quick. We've got 3 midfield players who deal with the ball, and the back 4 are very aggressive. So they've got a real good mix to be successful at this level. So we know what we're up against, but we're quite excited about it. You know, there's a real excitement today that, you know, it's one of them where we'll know where we are in terms of how far we are away from what it takes to sort of compete and get out of this league.
Finally, Michael, you said that the new signings have given you a boost. They've given the squad, the players a boost as well. I sense with supporters it has as well. And there is excitement coming into this game. Being at home, what kind of role can the home crowd play against one of the toughest sides in the division? Yeah,
a massive role. And listen, we've got to play our part initially. We've got to make sure that, you know, we compete, we get up against them, we perform and play and be brave and get on the ball. And I think if we do all those things, we'll create opportunities and chances. And if we do that, obviously we get the supporters off the feet, we get them in a good space. And look, I've seen it here before, and I know it's going to happen again. Get into that latter stage of the game when we really need them and we need that extra push. You know, you can almost suck the ball into the back of the goal.
Well, good luck today and thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Great to hear from the manager there. So confirmation of today's lineup. Tyreek Backinson will make his full Charlton debut in today's clash against Peterborough United at the Valley. The central midfielder who joined the Addicts on loan from Sheffield Wednesday last Friday comes into the starting 11 as one of 5 changes made by head coach Michael Appleton following last weekend's draw at Port Vale. There is a place on the bench for fellow new signings Conor Coventry and Lewis Fiorini, while Alfie May and Chem Campbell return to the starting 11 after minor injuries. Lucas Ness and Terrell Thomas also start, with the Addicts expected to change shape from recent weeks. Michael Hector isn't involved due to a hamstring injury sustained last weekend, while Corey Blackett-Taylor misses out after picking up an injury on Friday. Harry Isted, who hasn't played since last September after picking up a knee injury against Shrewsbury Town, returns to the bench, and that's again a real highlight to see some of our injured players returning. Curbs, give me your thoughts. Some bold changes made there and a change in shape.
Change in shape is the big thing, and I don't think it's been forced, but I think that's the way Michael wants to go. You may find it goes 3-5-2 at some stage, with having 2 strikers up there. Yeah, I think he's obviously had time to assess the squad, and he's gone to the board and said, look, this is what I want to do, and this is where I want to go, and they've backed him, which is great. And as I said, there's rumours that it's not over yet. But then, the competition, I think you mentioned it there, Michael, about the bench. You need that. So people will be upset and disappointed that they're not playing, and perhaps 1 or 2 playing today think, well, I'm under a bit of pressure here. Well, that's great. That's what we need. And we need that Michael, when it ain't going so well, can go, right, you can come off and you can go on and be fully confident that switch might work. And so, yeah, I think it's great credit to the board that they've backed him. And I think we, over the years, have been a bit dubious about, what's going on at the club. And so it's good to see that the board will give the fans a bit of a boost.
Carla, can I get your thoughts on the changes? 5 is a lot to make to a starting 11, but obviously, as we well know, we're searching for that elusive victory. Michael mentioned there that the players have been really, really working on the formation in training. That is where I guess all those hours of preparation come into the fold for the 90 minutes today. Yeah,
I think when you change formation, it's massive that you need to work on it in training. Everyone needs to know their roles. I mean, it's an experienced team. I'm sure, they've played in a 3-4-3 before, but yeah, working on it in training, getting the patterns right. I think obviously 3 centre-halves in there now, so it's maybe a bit more security. Obviously, Peterborough, as you said, score a lot of goals, and we have been conceding goals. But yeah, I think you look at the bench and it is exciting now as well. So
there's actually some strength and some options there, Curbs.
We've got 3 centre-halves there today, but Hector and the new signings out. Two big players, if you like. And when you're talking about the midfield, there's no Fraser in the squad today, no Corey Blackie. So yeah, not many squads can withstand the injuries that we've had. We're talking about Chucks and Miles Leaburn as well. So he's going to have some team selection problems when they're all fit, but I'm sure he'd be happy with that.
We want those headaches again, don't we? We certainly do. And I was listening to Peterborough United's manager, Darren Ferguson, pre-game, talking about what an annoying pest Alfie May is. Obviously, Ferguson worked with May, signed him at Doncaster, and it's a bit of a relief, really, to have him back in the team. Of course, Carla, you're part of a winning squad. It's not about all of the individuals, but Alfie May has made such a huge impact here. He's a real character as well, and that, I suppose, when you are a teammate, you can see your top scorer back, must give you a psychological boost.
Yeah, it's definitely, brings you a lot of confidence. He has been scoring goals. He always looks a threat, I think, like his pace, he'll chase things down. Some of his touches before he's finished, that Cray Valley goal, was it? Yeah. That was like... So yeah, I think just having him on the pitch is exciting for everyone, the fans, the players, and yeah, it gives you a lift. Sometimes it's hard when you've got not a lack of depth in squad, but when you have had a lot of injuries and there's people playing where a chance falls to people, but when a chance is falling to him, you're like, okay, yeah. You're confident that it's going to go in. Absolutely,
and it will be really good to see Curbs, our debutant in action, Tyreek Backinson. I've heard lots and lots of good things, and I suppose the words that spring to mind are dynamic and energy when it comes to our midfield, which I think is something that Michael feels has been lacking. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on.
He's mentioned that a few times, Michael. Legs and energy and enthusiasm, etc. So yeah, so I think that he's brought some players in that he's worked with as well, which always helps. I think the Coventry one was a big one because there was quite a few clubs after him. Perhaps it was the locality, being at West Ham, and he's now not got to travel too far except through the Blackwall Tunnel.
I was going to say, Curbs, he's a West Ham boy. You better get in contact with him.
I better tell him.
Yeah, warn him.
I better tell him.
Now that ink is on the paper, go for it.
I better tell him to give himself an hour at least, and he might not be able to get back home because it'd be closed.
There we go. We'll take that as a tactic, shall we? Well, look, today is also the club's annual memorial game. It's an opportunity for us as a football club to remember the supporters that we've lost over the past year. The game is kindly sponsored by W. Udens and Sons, and they've also recently partnered up with our club's community trust. Let's find out a little bit more.
So we're family funeral directors. We've been covering families and looking after families since 1881. Our Uden family are 5 generations old, and we're very big football fans. What we've seen over the years and what's been really impressive is what Charlton actually deliver. We see them almost on every high street, every street corner, doing so much for the community. And us as a family business, and what we do is we aren't just interested in funerals itself, we're after doing aftercare as well, because at families' time of need, it's important that they've got support around them before and after a funeral. And seeing what Charlton Athletic do with their community support is really quite inspiring. So we want to get involved with Charlton and help out the local families that we all serve.
So a completely different partnership for us, but obviously the values align. And I think we're all for working with companies and organisations and businesses that put something back into their community, and this is a good example of it. And actually, before we've done a formal relationship, we've got an ongoing programme with them already.
So our bereavement walks are fantastic. We do them once a week, every week. So we started about 18 months ago now. We do them every Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the Eltham area by Eltham Palace. And what it is for those who have sadly lost someone and they haven't actually got anyone to talk to about it, or they feel guilty speaking to different family members and actually sort of feeling a burden to people, and no one should ever feel like a burden to people, but it actually gives people a platform to talk to people who's like-minded and sadly gone through the same thing as they have. So for us, it's been unbelievable. It's been fantastic to see, and just to see how much people get from it really means a lot. It's absolutely beautiful, to be honest. We personalise every funeral, so on the back of our coffins we have the Charlton badge stencilled into our coffins. We wear the Charlton scarves, Charlton ties. Over the years we support many different charities, but again something that's really close to our hearts is the Charlton Community Support Charity Trust, because they are delivering such a nice service and it's for local people, so we can see where donations are going to. What we're also looking to do and going to be doing now is looking after the Memorial Garden at Charlton. And again, yes, we're funeral directors, but we're very much hands-on with a bit of everything. So all of our qualified staff will be looking after the Charlton Memorial Garden now, making sure when families go and see their loved ones and spend their time thinking and remembering their loved ones, they're in a good place and a well-kept place.
Yeah, because of our relationship with Matt Baker, and Matt fully aware of the work of the Community Trust and what he does at the Valley with, you know, the Memorial Garden and ashes and scattering. He's able to speak to families and families that don't want flowers and want a donation to support something locally. He's able to say, well, look, are you aware of the work of the Community Trust? Are you aware of the bursary programme? The bursary programme allows us or our staff to apply. It's only a small pot of money, you know, anything up to about £5,000 a year. And examples of that, if we've got a young person that's going for a job interview, we buy them a suit. We pay for haircuts for people that have gone for job interviews. We've paid for dancing shoes for families that can't afford for siblings to go to a dancing group. And it probably doesn't get the coverage and the exposure that it deserves. And it's an internal request, and it's something that normally is granted. But it's because our staff are up close and understand the challenges and the cost of living crisis and the support the family needs. And so Matt knows this. So Matt has got families to support the bursary fund, and this is something that we want to continue. So we're fully aware of the aftercare, and I think that's the important thing. Like I said at the start, this is completely unique for us and this partnership. But the work that is done after the funeral, that support and care and aftercare, fits in with what we do. You know, so if these team are doing referrals to us and can support what we do, then it's a strong partnership going forward.
Fantastic to learn a little bit more about another fantastic partnership for the club's community trust. I want to turn our attentions now, though, to you, Carla, and to Charlton Women, because we mentioned at the very start of the show, it's been a great first half of the season. Yeah. Promotion is in sight. You're in FA Cup action tomorrow, though. Tell us about who you're expecting.
Yeah, so we've got Ipswich tomorrow away. They're in the league below us, but in the previous round they beat Lewis, who are in the same league as us, so I think just shows that they are competitive. They're a good team, they like to play football. I don't know if they'll maybe sit off against us, obviously being the league above, but I think it'll be an exciting game and one we really want to get obviously into the next round of the FA Cup.
Because I suppose it's very similar to the men's game in the sense that you get the prize money, which is always really helpful when we're talking about growing sustainable football clubs as well, but also potentially the chance of maybe drawing a home tie to a club from the WSL. And I know that you've gone far in the Continental Cup as well. All the cup competitions you've been doing really well in this season.
Yeah, we have. We've been performing. We've been doing well. And yeah, they're the types of teams you want to be playing against, testing ourselves against higher opposition. And I think we actually play well against tougher opposition because, you know, other teams who like to play football, we like to play football. There's a bit more space, a bit more pockets and passes that open up, and we do flourish in them games as well. So I think it'll be really exciting, and just hope we can get the win tomorrow.
Is it Portman Road?
No, unfortunately not. No,
that's the thing though, isn't it? Because sometimes you don't know what kind of stadium or ground that you're turning up. But you've played at St Mary's have you played at St Mary's?
Yeah, in the league we have. Yeah.
There's some really nice stadiums that you get to go and visit. I know that I think the next league game is it Blackburn at home.
Blackburn, yeah.
And that is going to be at the Oakwood.
Yeah.
For those that aren't aware, like the Barclays Championship is so competitive. Home advantage there, that's a big game, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, it's a massive game, yeah. I think every game at the moment is a big game. We just need to pick up as many points as we can, and we know that. Yeah, I think Karen said in training today, every game now is like a cup final for us.
Absolutely.
So
pushing and pushing towards that promotion, staying as long as you can in competitions as well.
Yeah.
I want you to tell Charlton supporters why they need to come to a Charlton women's game, because I've been and I love it, and it is a different experience to come into a men's game. There's a real family feel as well, but it makes a huge difference to you as the players, because I guess it's a little bit more intimate at the Oakwood than it is perhaps here at the Valley.
Yeah, it is. I think it's great. Like you said, there is that family feel. It's exciting. We like to play attractive football. And yeah, there's just a great buzz around the place at the moment, and yeah, especially at VCD, you know, every fan does make a difference, and yeah, that's really what we want to see.
We do, don't we, Curbs? Because it would be fantastic to see, you know, Karen's team push right the way to the end of the season. Getting out the Championship's not an easy division to do so, but the Women's Super League, again, when you think of the likes of the Chelseas, Arsenals and so on, it then galvanises those crowds somewhat more. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, and I think in the top league, if you like, more and more clubs, I keep going on about playing at their stadiums, but it's quite right, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, instead of playing at training grounds, and you know, that was a big thing with the Premier League when the academies first started, that you know, you're having under 23 games playing at the training ground, and it don't just affect the players, because it is like a training game. It was affecting the referees and the linesmen, you know. But then once suddenly they started playing at the stadiums, the referees are up for it. It's a proper game. Yeah. And I, as I keep going on about the Premier League pitches and even down, we look at the Championship and even this league. There's so many big clubs in it. The pitches can handle it. It's a cost thing. So hopefully the clubs will start looking at it a bit more.
Absolutely. Well, look, do visit the club website to purchase your tickets for that game against Blackburn at the Oakwood. It's a fantastic little ground. It's a really lovely atmosphere there. And it's a massive, massive game as well. And I'm no doubt that Carla and her teammates will hit the ground running like they did in the build-up to Christmas, especially because you've done some good business in the transfer market as well. There was news this week of the signing. Let's talk about Mel Phillips first.
Yep.
A really, again, shrewd signing by Karen.
Yeah, definitely. I think also brings WSL experience into the team. Yeah, another player in midfield who's going to come in and compete. And like you guys said about the men's team, you know, the competition for places just, you know, makes everyone up their game that 5-10% more. When you think you're given everything, just that little boost, another player coming in and everything, and just, yeah, good for the environment having new faces in who are going to bring stuff.
And was Mel at West Ham last
year?
Yeah. So she'll know Kate Longhurst. How's she kind of settled in already in the training ground?
Yeah, she knew a couple of people. You know, in women's football, everyone seems to know everyone, which is nice. But yeah, she's settled in so easily already. Yeah, if you came in, you wouldn't even know she was new. So
she's had to come through the tunnel. She can show Conor. She can show Conor.
There'll be an ultimate castle here, won't there? That's for sure. And that wasn't the only little bit of business that Charlton women have done this week as well. Karen Hills has gone back and raided her former club at Spurs to secure the services of Gracie Pearce, a young, really exciting player to add into her selection force.
Yeah, she came in yesterday, as you said, yeah, a young player, but yeah, someone who's going to come in and add more quality to the team, and that's what we want, especially when we're pushing for promotion. And just add more depth and bring a lot to the team, which is exciting.
Yeah, well, Carla, look, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here in the Charlton TV studio. You've been an absolute pro. It's been great to have you alongside us, and we wish you all the best to you and all your teammates. We'll be keeping.
Has she got a swap with Brownie?
Unfortunately, the sub forward is ready, and Brownie's warmed up and limbered. He's eaten his pre-match burger, which she'll tell us all about, no doubt, but unfortunately we do have to let Carla go.
It's all down, so we can see it.
The tomato ketchup around the outskirts. But while people wait, Brownie, let's hear from one of the other new faces at Charlton, and that is Conor Coventry.
Conor, welcome to Charlton. How pleased are you to be here?
Yeah, no, delighted to be here. Obviously, things happen quite quick today, and yeah, I know the size of the club, and I'm really looking forward to buying into what's going on here and being a part of it.
And you've had plenty of suitors this window, including Championship interest. What was it that made Charlton the right move for you?
I think the vision of the gaffer and the people behind the scenes at the club and where they want to take the club. Obviously, like I said, I'm from London, so I know what the club means to people and the size of it, and yeah, just mainly the vision and where they want to take this club, and I want to be a part of that.
And you touched on the vision there. What is it that you hope to achieve in your time here?
Well, of course, promotion straight away. Obviously, personally, I want to come and play as many games as I can. But as a group and as a club, we need to be in the Championship really. So, promotion, and then see where we can go from there.
And last season saw you make your Premier League debut and lift the Europa Conference League. What was that experience and that night like for you?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, obviously, I've been West Ham since I was 10, so to experience that at your local team was it was incredible, and yeah, something I'll never forget.
What were the celebrations like?
Yeah, we had a good few days celebrations, and yeah, like I said, I'll never forget them, and yeah, hopefully the club can win a few more things in the next few years.
You also played a key role in Rotherham securing survival in the Championship in the second half of last season. How did you find your experience there? Yeah, good. It was obviously a tough situation where we were in the league, and obviously you know how competitive the Championship is, so I think it's a great achievement for us to stay up, and yeah, experiences that hopefully can stand me in good stead. And some Charlton fans will remember you from your starring performance for MK Dons at the Valley in February 2022, including an assist for Tanay Watson. What can you remember from that game? Yeah, I remember the game. Obviously, I think any time you play at the Valley, it shocks you how big it is and what the stadium's actually like. So I remember it being a good game. Yeah, I remember. Obviously, it's funny that we're both here now, and hopefully we can link up for some goals here as well. And for those fans that maybe didn't see that all-action display against Charlton for MK Dons, what can fans expect to see from you as a player? I think firstly, I'm going to just give my all for the team really, and try and be a team player. Obviously, you can speak about other stuff, but I think that's the foundation really, giving my all for my teammates and hopefully someone that they can all rely on. And you've obviously worked under Michael Appleton before at Lincoln. How much did you enjoy your time with him? Yeah, it was great. I mean, it was my first loan. It was cut short because of COVID, but I mean, I know what type of coach he is and what he expects from his players, and I think he knows what to expect from me as well. So yeah, I'm really excited to work with him again. And how have your conversations been with Michael ahead of this move? Yeah, great. He's spoke to me a lot and really made me feel interested, feel wanted, which is obviously massive for me. And yeah, I understand what he wants from me, and yeah, can try and implement it for the team. You hold Ireland's record for under-21 international appearances and have also been involved in a senior squad. How proud are you of your international journey so far? Yeah, massively. Yeah, I take great pride in that, and obviously captaining the team is something I'd love to try and get in that senior squad, and obviously that's why I'm here as well, to try and play as many games as I can and try and put myself in that fold. And as well as Tanay Watson, you also know George Dobson, Tyro Eden and Louis Watson here. How much does that help when you come into a new club? Yeah. Of course, it's nice. I mean, it's familiar and all really good people as well, and obviously top players as well. So it's great to see them here when they come in, and makes you feel more welcome, and looking forward to playing with them all again. And lastly, you touched on it earlier, but how much are you looking forward to getting out at the Valley now? Yeah, can't wait really. I've been waiting for a few months now to get some game time, so I'm really looking forward to obviously getting under such a famous stadium and trying to show what I can do.
What an exciting signing, and what an exciting return to the studio, Steve Brown.
Oh, well, the jokes can roll in, can't they? Yeah, not as good looking, not as well dressed. Yeah. Let's get out of the way, come on.
How was your burger? I'm more interested in your burger. You were sat there enjoying it.
I was trying to get your attention whilst I was dribbling down.
Yeah.
Top.
Well, let's talk about Conor, because Curbs, a signing of intent.
Well, yeah, I think that there was lots of speculation about him going to other clubs, and I think in the end, what forced it was the fact it's a permanent move, and you know he could have gone on loan elsewhere and then having to go back to West Ham and etc. So I think he feels that this is a time now. I've got to go and get out there, play football, and establish myself. And you know, so great credit to the club to pull whatever the figure is, undisclosed or whatever. But it's turned from a loan into a permanent, which is different. It's totally different. And yeah, he's a local boy. He knows the club. He knows what we're about. So that's a bonus.
Yeah, no, I think it's well documented. They went and found him as well Wednesday night to his house, and I mean that's something you used to do back in the day. You know, go and find players, you know, hijack their moves elsewhere, offer them and sell them, you know, where Charlton will be. You know, and I think we're slowly sort of seeing us going back to that.
The best hijacking I done was Klaus.
Yeah, I remember.
It was an interesting one. Yeah.
And
Go on, tell us the story, Curbs.
Wasn't Kinsler in the Gillesphey
Yeah, Kinsler was nearly going
office?
somewhere.
Yeah, and he hijacked that as well.
What was your best story, Curbs? Can you tell us?
Klaus Jensen was a good one.
Yeah.
Because he was going to Ipswich, and well, he's going to talk to Ipswich, and I found out what hotel he was in, and I got to the hotel as he turned up, and I was waiting for him. I said, I'm not George Burley, but I said, but if it don't work, you can come and sign for us. And so we spoke to George, and then come and sign for us.
Oh, fantastic stuff! And
don't tell anyone now.
Yeah, we'll keep it just between us. Conor Coventry is not a player who is a stranger to Charlton Athletic, of course, because he actually provided this rather neat assist whilst playing for MK Dons and linking up with now a teammate again, Tane Watson. Are we seeing already, perhaps, in this VT that will hopefully come up quickly, is the creativity that he can offer and the footballing intelligence as well?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. I mean, everything about signing Conor Coventry is a statement for me, and everything should work about signing Conor. You know, I've seen him play many, many times. I've spoken to Kevin Keane and Mark Robson about Conor, and it should work. It's a very, very good signing for us. He's got a little bit of everything. He can play from deep. He's got an excellent range of pass. As you can see there, he's got very good vision. And what has to work with vision, Curbs will tell you, he's a better midfielder than I am, is you get quarter of a second to pick a spot, weight of pass, direction of pass, and in the path of the player. His football intelligence allows him to be able to wave passes up like that very, very quickly. In
this very studio, Scott Minto described that pass as a Curbs-like pass, so I'm guessing that's a sentiment that you... Oh, what, are you shaking your head, Curbs?
He was more sideways, I think.
Crabbish.
Yeah, Ray Wilkins-like.
I could play now in this. The way football is now, I could play easy now. Sideways, backwards, have loads of possession.
It was a good pass.
It was a very good pass, and it wasn't just Conor Coventry who has come through the doors here at the Valley. Yesterday it was announced that the centre-back Macaulay Gillesphey is also joining the club as well, and that feels again like a very shrewd move, Curbs, but the word that springs to mind for me is a bit of balance here, a left-sided player coming in from the Championship as well.
Yeah, but you've seen also with today's team selection that Michael's gone free at the back. You know, so he... Once again, that's the way he wants to play. We may see that gives him two centre forwards. We'll have to wait and see on that. He's playing 3-4-3 today, but he may end up playing 3-5-2. Who knows? With all these midfield players. But you know, he's set his stall out, Michael, saying this is what I want to do. I need to do this, and I need to bring some players in. And the club have backed him, which is great. And now they've got to deliver, and that's the name of the game.
Brownie, a left-footed centre half, easy to say, who's won promotion recently. Yeah. That ticks a lot of boxes in terms of what Michael Appleton would have wanted.
Yeah, and willing to drop back down from the Championship. Quite a few players wouldn't do that, and that's a significant sign that we're actually starting to look at the league above to bring people back down that are proven at this level, rather than try and sign players up a level that haven't proven themselves at this level. I think that's quite significant. And it's great from the player's perspective that he's willing to do that. Same as Conor Coventry had options above this league and he's willing to drop down, and they're great signs for us as a football club moving forward. I think, as Curbs has said many times already, we're going to sign some more as well. And it just feels like, to me, walking in from the station today, there's a little bit of an upward curve here. We're starting to see a bit of positivity, and it's signings like this that will make the difference.
Well, let's hear what Macaulay had to say about his move to Charlton Athletic. Welcome to the Valley. How does it feel to be a Charlton Athletic player?
Yeah, thank you. I'm really happy. I'm so glad to get it over the line and get it done. Really, really happy to be here.
And what was it about Charlton that made it the right move for you?
I just think it's a massive club, so when I found out they were interested, I thought it's a no-brainer. Huge potential there, and obviously it's a great club to be at, and looking forward to being part of the journey.
How much have you enjoyed your conversations with head coach Michael Appleton so far?
Yeah, I've had a few phone calls with him, and he's let us know what he wants from me, and it's all positive, and it's all the things he said is how I play, so I'm really looking forward to it.
And you bring plenty of experience to the back line. You won League One with Plymouth last season. How excited are you to just get going here at the Valley?
Yeah, last season was amazing with Plymouth, obviously winning the league and stuff, but that's something I want to do here now. Obviously Charlton's a massive club, it should be in the Championship at least, so hopefully in time I can get another promotion with Charlton.
Talk to us a little bit about your game. What can fans expect to see from you as a player?
That's always a hard one to answer that, and it's speaking about yourself. Quite calm on the ball, left-footed obviously. Good passing range, I'd say, long distance, short distance, and quite confident, yeah.
What do you hope to achieve from your time here at Charlton?
I've already mentioned it, I want to get another promotion under my belt. That's one thing I definitely want. And yeah, back playing in the Championship, hopefully with Charlton. So.
As well as having plenty of EFL experience, I just wanted to ask you about your spell in Australia with Brisbane Roar, because you won their Player of the Year award. How much did that experience abroad help you as a professional? Yeah,
it was different. I think moving away from home, that was my first time moving away from home, and obviously it's the other side of the world. So you got to grow up quite quick. I think I was 23 at the time. So that helped, and it was just an amazing experience playing elsewhere in the world and meeting new people, new cultures and things. So that was good.
I bet the temperatures were nicer out there as well, right?
Shorts and flip-flops every day for training with a little t-shirt on.
Well, lastly, you've got a familiar face here in Panucci Kamara. How much does that help when you're joining a new club and you're looking to settle in as quickly as possible?
Yeah, that always helps. I seen him this morning and he had a big smile on his face and I gave him a good hug on that, so it was lovely to see him. It's been a little while.
Well, it's great to have you here and welcome to the Valley.
Cheers, thank you.
From Macaulay there, a real privilege to do that interview. I could sense from him the excitement about getting started. Unfortunately, he can't feature today due to the paperwork, but what a prospect to add to our squad as well. Just a quick reminder to supporters that if you haven't purchased your matchday streaming pass yet, you can do so. Just head to www.cafc.co.uk and hang around with Curbs, Brownie and I for what will be a challenging 90 minutes. We are fully, the Brownie's laughing because Brownie, we compared stats, didn't we? And it's a tough test for Charlton, but these are big games that you want to mark your progress and you want to stand up and be counted, especially on your home pitch.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the biggest significant stat really is current form. You know, they're banging form and we're not, because actually our home form's very, very good. Their away form's pretty decent, but it's the current form where they are streets ahead of us. And, you know, they've got quite a settled side. They're the biggest scorers in the league, and they have threats from everywhere. And this is the issue. And it's interesting that we've gone 3-4-3. I think that somehow we might make that a 2, because if we allow the overloaded midfield for them, I think it could be a long old day for our two central midfielders. But we'll see. You know, they're, like I said, the dressing room. We've all been there when the old players come in the building. Some it hurts. You know, some go, oh, yeah, that's all I need. But actually, there's a lift, and there'll be a lift in the dressing room. And when there's a lift in the dressing room, you can achieve something maybe we're not expected to. So we'll see. But this is a tough game for us in terms of where Peterborough are at. The one place they can get caught out is they've got the most possession of any team in our league building up play. But they do give goals away doing it. Barnsley nicked it a couple of times, scored. Derby nicked it a couple of times, scored. But if they break your press, they break through you and they load the box and they score. I mean, there's bodies everywhere.
Yeah, what was really interesting to read is that the two players who've carried the ball the furthest distance for Peterborough are their centre-backs, which perhaps tells you all about their front-footed style of play.
Assists and goals.
Exactly.
I mean, they take risks, Charlotte. They will really load the front area if they break your press.
It's another marker. This is where we've got to get to. You know, where Peterborough are at the moment.
Well, let's take a look at the starting 11s for both teams. And if you are just joining us, there are 5 changes for Charlton Athletic. Brownie, what do you make of the change of shape that we're lining up with today as well?
Yeah, I think that's probably where he wants to go, if I'm honest with you. I mean, if I look at our fullbacks, I think they're probably more suited to a wing-back role than they are at fullback. So, then you've got that extra centre-half behind that as well. The problem with today, trying it out today, is we could end up quite quickly being a 5-4-1. That's the issue with today, because they are very good at what they do. And it'd be interesting to see if we can get our press right, which is, they will have been working on stuff this week. If we can get our press right on their back line, they will give you an opportunity to nick it. But like I said, if they break that, then it's a tough old starting game for Tariq Battinson in there with George Dobson if they've got an overload in there as well.
And it's a real miss, Corey Blackett-Taylor. Most shots following a ball carrier, most chances created Curbs, but these are always other opportunities for other players to shine.
Yeah, and and it's a big game. Decent atmosphere here today. And as I say, we've got that competition there now. I'm looking at playing 3 at the back, but we've got 2 centre-halves out, Hector and the new signing. So, you know, suddenly we've got 5 or 6 centre-halves. You know, I think the one area they must still be looking at must be up top, with Miles and Chucks being out, but watch this space.
We're looking at